Hello from Gardening at Douentza here in Ireland, and this video is a spotlight video on the most fantastic Latouria dendrobium I have. It's called Lutin Blanc. Let's find out a little bit more about it. This beauty that you see in front of you is a cross between Aberrans and Polysema, both good Latouria species orchids. So it's a primary cross, and it was made in 2013 by Gerard Smith of the Lamazon Orchid Nursery in Belgium, in the Walloon French-speaking district in Belgium. The orchid nursery, known as Lamazon, has clocked up an amazing 36 years of experience dealing with orchids, and they specialise in hybridizing. Now, Gerard Smith particularly loves the hybridization of Latouria type orchids, and he says the reason why he loves Latouria so much is because of their ease of cultivation, their unusual looking flowers, and I think all of us know all about that, and their very long flowering period. Mr. Schmidt is constantly making new crosses, new Latouria crosses, and I believe that there are some exciting new ones in the offing. But let's just take a little look at the ones he's made so far, one of which is this fantastic Lutin Blanc. What does Lutin Blanc mean, you may ask? And it means something like white elf or white leprechaun or white fairy, something of that ilk. And there, hence, lies the theme in Mr. Schmidt's work. Having used Dendrobium green elf in a lot of hybridization, that has given rise to a kind of nod to the whole kind of fairy/elf theme. And Lutin Blanc is just one of the wonderful results of that play. Lutin Blanc is a cross between Aberrans and Polysema, as we already said. There's also been a cross made by the Amazon house between Eximium and Forbesii, and that one's called Grand Enchanteur, the Great Enchanter, which is Merlin, I'm reliably informed. And then the third cross he made was between Green Elf and Polysema, and that one is called Lutin Vert. Now, if you find this in the RHS encyclopedia, it's been mistakenly written in there as Lutin Vert with an E at the end, and hopefully that mistake will be fixed soon. Lutin Vert, of course, means green elf. This magical theme has extended to other crosses made by the Amazon Orchid House, and they have a cymbidium called Lutin Jaune de l'Amazon, so yellow elf of Amazon, and that's a cross between Cymbidium green elf and Cymbidium elegans. And there's also Paphiopedilum Lutin Vert, which was made in 2009, and that's a cross between Pinocchio and Feriana. As far as I can see with the Lutin Blanc orchid that I have in front of me, it seems to get its flower shape from its Aberrans parent and its spotting from the Polysema parent. They make a good combination. And this plant has a subtle scent. It's somewhere between cinnamon and nutmeg as far as my nose tells me. But the reason why I love it so much is the fantastic array of flowers it has produced. Look at that. I've got 11 spikes in full flower at the moment, 2 that are coming and 2 that have gone over. And while the plant is doing all that, it's still busy producing new growths. There's a new growth that's popped up just recently with what will eventually become, it's a sheath at the moment, it'll eventually become a flower spike. So it's a really, really floriferous cross. As you can see, it's in quite a small pot. If I just put my hand in here to give you an idea of the size. Yet the top growth on the plant does extend out. So if you're looking for something for a small space, you do have to take account of the fact that it is quite wide above. I bought this wonderful plant from the Schwerter Orchid Nursery in Germany last September, and when it came to me it was already in sheath. Now, it was in such a tiny pot, crammed in there with lots of sphagnum, that I really couldn't bear to leave it potted as it was, and I repotted it despite being in sheath. But surprise, surprise, it didn't blast, and The plant then went on to flower for me for the first time in February of this year. From then, it's just gone from strength to strength, as you can see. It had a brief spell where it didn't flower during the summer, but wow, it's back on form again. How do I mind this orchid? Well, I keep it in Cattleya light, so I have been told that it needs slightly less light than Cattleyas, but you know, hey, I live in Ireland. I'm a bit lacking in the light department anyway. I keep it at intermediate temperatures, so plenty warm, and I water it once a week with my other orchids, so nothing special really, and it's done so well. So that's my Dendrobium Lutin Blanc, or white elf, or white leprechaun, whichever way you like to call it. But I'll just give you a little word of warning if you're actually looking for this orchid, because it's not sold as Lutin Blanc anywhere I've seen in Europe. Now, I don't know why that is. Is it perhaps because this hybrid was only registered in 2013 and the name hasn't yet filtered down to the orchid nurseries? Or is it perhaps that the name is considered difficult for us English speakers? I don't know. So what you need to look out for if you're looking out for this orchid is the Aberrans and Polysema cross, because that's what it's sold as. Okay, so that's all for the moment. That was my spotlight video on Dendrobium Lutin Blanc, one of the Latouria dendrobiums, and I hope you liked it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and all that sort of stuff. Thanks very much for watching now. Bye!